people. Que pasa, suck, passe, what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. This one is called, What Do You Have to Do? How serious, how severe must your crime be before you are actually denied bail? Because we've seen on many occasions wherein people who have multiple H00Ts, even the takeaway of a human life, gang affiliated, gang associated, they get bail. When they come out, they do the same thing to return back to square one from whence they came. You would have thought that a country like Jamaica, that is ranked amongst the 3 or 5 worst in the whole world, the judge would be more serious in who they give bail. No, people, it seems as if common sense is not very common. In a Jamaica, it seems as if these judges themselves, they need to be psychoanalyzed and checked, because it seems as if they've lost all sorts of rationale. On May 24th of 2023, a young lady, her name is Shadae Pink, and her next man, Keno James, in a Portland. They were playing dominoes with a group of other persons when a Fielder motor car, Toyota, drove up. That vehicle was driven by a young lady, 28-year-old JODY and Jackson. A man alighted from the vehicle, blazed up some corn. Mrs. Shadae Pink was the intended target. She was hit at least 3 times in the head and a couple of times in the upper body. She lost her life on the spot. She was 9 months pregnant. She was supposed to have baby about a week or so from the day in which she lost her life. On the 29th of that same month, 5 days later, Mrs. JODY and Jackson was arrested for the takeaway, conspiracy, firepiece, all sorts of serious charges. She went to court a couple of times on a bail application that was filed by her older lawyer. In both cases, they were denied because the judge said. She gave a statement after she was arrested, and in those statements, she pretty much incriminate herself. You know, when them have the question and answer, and it depends on your answer, determines whether you are going to get bail, whether you are going to get charged. I guess you could say that her answers were not in the favor of what the investigators thought. They thought or figured more than likely she was a suspect, she was a co-conspirator, she knows something about something, so therefore she was charged officially for the takeaway of both persons, amongst other charges. Fast forward a couple days ago, she got a new lawyer and she went back to court, and the judge gave her $4 million bail. That bail had stipulation, conditions. She had to report to the power station 5 days out of the week. She surrendered her travel documents, the regular thing. So therefore, she's now on bail. This judge gave her bail based on what the lawyer said. The new lawyer, when he went in, he said that her old lawyer made some error. And my client, when she gave her statement in which she signed, she was under pressure. She was stressed out because she had just had a baby and she did not know where her baby was, newborn baby was. So therefore, she was not in her right frame of mind. And that is what caused her to give those answers that were incriminating. Needless to say, the prosecution, they objected. However, the judge thought that it was a reasonable explanation by her lawyer, new lawyer, of why she signed and sealed something. Now people, here is the facts. This lady, whose baby father was also the baby father for Miss Shadae Pink, she got jealous, she got in her feelings, and she orchestrated, she masterminded the takeaway of that lady, and in extension an innocent youth, hard-working youth, Mr. Keno James, that had nothing to do with nothing, but he lost his life in cold blood. Both persons. The baby father is a chopper. The baby father is a known crime producer. And she, just like the baby father, criminal-minded. So therefore, she masterminded. She knew that this lady was pregnant. She knew that this lady was 9 months pregnant, as a matter of fact, and any day would be her due date. So therefore, she could not live with the fact of this lady that is the baby mother of her boyfriend. And you know how jealous these obsessive sketalinas are in Jamaica. So therefore, she planned, she orchestrated, not only she drove the vehicle, she was the getaway driver. She was caught with her hand in the cookie jar. Everybody knew about the mix-up that this man, top chopper, him a baby mother yaso, baby mother deso, and these are just two of the people in him flock. So therefore, she knows that the lady pregnant, and she still drove that vehicle. She still carried that GUNMAN, who is a family member. She told him what was going on, and he agreed. Both of them, along with other persons, went on that mission. Saw the lady playing dominoes with other person, walked up, alighted from the vehicle, blazed up this lady. The other youth was running and got some sorts of stray hit in his back or something. He also lost his life. So people, let me ask you, when these judges are reasoning or rationalizing their decision, alright, this girl have her baby, she don't know which part the baby dead, the baby okay. However, two other innocent individuals lost their life. Whether Miss Shadae was cheating with her baby father or not, that is not grounds or reasons or justification for anybody to take away anybody. That lady was also 9 months pregnant. That lady will never breathe a breath of fresh air again. That child, which also should be a next takeaway because of the stage of pregnancy, advanced stage. So therefore, call it a triple. You go to courts and the evidence was there, you are guilty as sin. However, you get a new lawyer and come and claim say you're under some sorts of duress. You're under stress. So therefore, when you gave the statements, if you are 16 or 18, you are responsible for whatever you say as an adult. She is 28-year-old. Now people, me no know if when she went in the jail for a couple of months, she rehabilitated, she started serving drinks to the other inmates, and the other inmates are acting better because remember, she's a bartender. Me no know if she started the people nailed in the prison for free, so therefore she was now fully rehabilitated. What would make this judge make such a decision? Now people, mark it. $4 million is a whole bunch of money. However, the fact that you could even think to give somebody bail after such wicked, evilous act, may have to wonder if or what type of strings, what type of hold does these defense lawyers have on these judges for them to be making these irrational decisions. Hence I say they are a part of the problem why Jamaica is the way that it is, because on many occasions we see, like me tell you, people with various SHOOTINGS take away, them give them bail and them come out and them do the same thing. So how is that rational thinking? How does that make any sorts of sense? People, let me know your think in the comment section. Point blank and period. Further on in the news, it is called reality check, reality check. It seems as if it is easier for you as an innocent, law-abiding, tax-paying citizen, hard-working citizen in Jamaica to lose your life than a criminal, a known crime producer. And people, I am going to give you a next example or a few more examples. A couple of days ago in a place called Green Island is in Hanover, persons were gathered at a very popular cook shop for persons that are there doing construction work. At about 8 p.m., some people did order food, I drink some J-Ray and Nephew, a H00T, the breeze. When a man pull up, blaze up some can upon a set of people that were there. After the smoke clear, 5 people got caught up, 2 persons lost their life. 27-year-old Mr. Richards and 27-year-old Mr. Spence. Both of these persons are from a place called Rural St. Andrew, Mavis Bank, a place called Mount Charles to be specific. They left from there and they went to Hanover to do some sorts of construction on a major construction site. These youths are not any sorts of chopper. These youths are not involved, or as a matter of fact, based on information that I got, if somebody is going to leave one area and go to a next area and been working on a major construction project for a little while, people that are chopper and criminal don't like to work. Unless, of course, they are working in some sort of call center and they have ulterior motive. That was not the case as it pertains to Mr. Richards and Mr. Spence. Both of them got blazed up. The owner of that cook shop, his son also got caught up. The other persons were taken in. They were not in such serious life-threatening situation or condition. Now, here is the very ironic stuff about this whole situation. Where these 2 persons lost their life at that cook shop, it is just 400 meters from where residents, church people and the Popo had some sorts of peace treaty a couple of days ago. One thing that we realize with peace treaty, it does not last. It is like a volcano. It stays dormant and then it erupts. Just like the crime producers. Next example, a place called Rockfort. Rockfort had a peace treaty in 2022. Fast forward less than a week ago, at least 7 people got caught up. 3 of those persons lost their life. Now, whenever anything like this happens, the Popo, they are going to come out and this is going to be their general statements. Sometimes people from other neighborhood, them transplant, them carry them criminal activity with them. Them get hotter Kingston, hotter Mobile, so therefore they come to Hanover. That is not the case as far as I know, as far as conversation that I've had. These youths have been working from them in a them teenage. Them do construction, them do carpentry, them do any sorts of manual labor. So therefore they are not any sorts of criminal elements. And you know that when persons in the area, the neighborhood see stuff like this, automatically them all think the same thing. Well, people, I am here to tell you, these youths, as far as I know, cannot swear on the Bible for anybody. They are some hard-working youth. So based on what the Popo are saying, they don't have any sorts of motive. People, the fact that these 2 youths, both of them from Mavis Bank, lost their life. Don't know if they got there and people getting them feelings because people feel like out or take the work what them supposed to get. Don't know if there was any sorts of feelings over any sorts of woman. And you know, whenever there's any sorts of big construction project, sometimes the people who work at those places, them a get all of the girl them. So the worthless people in the era that has no sort of intention of working, never fill out any sort of application, them girl might gravitate to them. And you know that these people are some sets of PUMS watchman, them jealous and them obsessive people. Me not really know. It couldn't be bad mind. It couldn't be just about anything. You do not have to do anything. They will take you away for the most petty stuff ever. Point blank and period. Further on in the news, it is called Jamaica is a Netflix series, and people, I mean this literally, and I mean this in a real life. There's a video circulating over social media of some sorts of H00T in a some sorts of garrison. May I talk about everything I fling, baby seat, buckle, stone, tree limb. It seems as if top lane and bottom lane was going back and forth at it. And them a play dandy shandy with the buckle and the big stone them. People a rush people, them run go north, the next people them run go south, retreat, nobody nah surrender. What is even stranger is that all of this was right in the presence of the po-po. Well, the po-po pull up in the midst of everything. You'd have thought that once these people see the po-po, them would retreat, them would hold back, them would cease fire. No, people, they were still going back and forth at it. The po-po pretty much had to jump out of the government jeep and start bust up some rifle, bust up some can out of the 9mm before these people stop and start to retreat like some sorts of roach in the project. What is even more disturbing, when all of this was happening, you had some families that was standing outside the gates, pan some sorts of cheer, meaning mother and baby, mother and pitney, 12-year-old, 9-year-old, they were watching, they were excited, they were celebrating. People, is this the norm in the garrison? Has this become acceptable in the garrison? Wherein people are go back and forth at it like some sorts of wild animal. And people, when you hear, I don't know the motive in this case, it is always because of some sorts of misunderstanding, mostly because of some sorts of man. He say, she say, ish. It is never anything substantial, always petty as F-U-C-K. There's a saying that goes something like this: the devil always finds work for idlers. If most of these persons were gainfully employed, that means them get up in the day, them take a shower and them go to work. More than likely, they would not have any sorts of time for this. So therefore, them can sit down and scheme and plot all sorts of F-U-C-K-R-Y war, because that is exactly what this was. So this is why we see what we see in the streets, because like them say, children, they do what they learn. The example that the mother and father and women in the community set, that is the same example that these youths are going to show when they go on the street in the wider world. So therefore, that is why Jamaica is such a violent place. Because these people cannot sit down and come to any sort of amicable agreement. It is either stick, stone, buckle, or guns. And you know what happens when those come into play. People are go D-E-A-D. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like this, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.